is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147. Now
I gotta give it to him, bud. He hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of gotta give him his respect, no matter what. You gotta give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do.
I've been a world champion, as you know, and I've been a 3-division world champion. I've only won one of the belts. I don't know what it is to be undisputed. I don't know that feeling. Do you understand? What he did last night is...
When Terence Crawford pulled off the unthinkable by defeating Canelo Alvarez, the boxing world stood still. For some, it was the passing of a torch. For others, it was the night that redefined greatness in the modern era. Yet, despite the overwhelming praise from fans, legends, and analysts alike,
pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147.
One of the sport's greatest icons chose to downplay Crawford's historic accomplishment. In the aftermath of the fight, Mayweather suggested that people were overhyping Crawford's win, implying that it didn't belong in the same category as some of boxing's greatest achievements. He questioned whether beating Canelo, at this stage of his career, was truly that remarkable.
Either way, he was in discussion certainly with Chavez. What did this do to his legacy? Because I don't think he caught, the Floyd fight didn't give him, people didn't really look down on him because he was, even though he had 40 fights, he was still, fighting one of the greatest ever in an absolute master. In B-ball, he went up weight classes to win. But now he's fighting a smaller guy, a great fighter, but a smaller guy. Does this damage his legacy in any way?
I think it does. Because, the one thing is this, is that, you were ruling, you were the king of that weight class. And the king of that weight class for a good while. And I think that, he had a huge following because, he became the face of boxing.
And even though it's another, future Hall of Famer, still losing a guy come up a couple weight classes, kind of makes you seem not as great as you might have been.
Quiet, fired back with passion. On national television, he made it absolutely clear. Mayweather's words were out of line. Smith insisted that what Crawford did was not just another victory, it was history. According to him, no fighter in the modern era has done what Crawford has accomplished, becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes, and then moving up yet again to dethrone a champion who was considered unbeatable in his own division. Smith's tone was sharp, almost confrontational. He declared, "Terence Crawford has done what no fighter has ever done before. His legacy..."
This was Terence Bud Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions, really 3 in my mind, because we only fought 1 fight at the junior middleweight division. So he's really moving up from 147 pounds, okay? Terence Bud Crawford moving up to the 168-pound limit in an effort to claim the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world from the grasp of Saul.
He is cemented. He doesn't need validation from Floyd Mayweather or anyone else. This was greatness on full display. Canelo Alvarez wasn't just another opponent. He was the king of his division, undisputed at super middleweight, with a resume that included names like Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, Caleb Plant, and Dmitry Bivol. For years, fighters who dared to challenge Canelo in his weight class were systematically broken down, outclassed, or flat-out knocked out. But Crawford wasn't deterred. Moving up multiple divisions, he stepped...
Terence Crawford and his well-renowned trainer, 2-time trainer of the year and future Hall of Fame trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, recently did an interview in which Bomac stated that a fight is not happening. And this particular fight is a fight that everybody wanted to see Canelo Alvarez take, and Canelo Alvarez refused to take this fight, would a 28-year-old two-division world champion, reigning WBC light heavyweight,
stepped into Canelo's fortress, knowing full well that this was the fight that could define his career. And not only did he win, he dominated. This wasn't a controversial decision. This wasn't a lucky punch. It was a technical masterclass. Crawford neutralized Canelo's strengths, controlled the pace, and showed the world that his skill set transcends size, weight, and power. Stephen A. Smith highlighted this exact point. Nobody in history has done what Bud Crawford just did. Nobody is.
It might be too late now. It might be too late, because guess what? He done. Ain't nothing else he needs to do. Ain't nothing else he needs to do in boxing. Yep, y'all doubt him now? Y'all doubt him now? I saw some of y'all goofies on y'all channels. You come here and you get the real over here. That's what you get over here. You want the real? You want a real breakdown from a real fighter, a Hall of Famer? That's what you do. You come right here and you gonna get the real and you gonna get the truth. Dang it, that's what you gonna get. Leave them other lames alone and come right on over here. Yeah, and get the truth and nothing but the truth. I've been trying to tell y'all for years about this. Been trying to tell y'all for years about Terence Crawford.
Walked into the backyard of a dominant champion like Canelo in his prime division and walked away with such a convincing victory. Interestingly, while Floyd Mayweather downplayed Crawford's accomplishment, his uncle, trainer Jeff Mayweather, took the opposite stance. Jeff didn't mince words about what this meant for Canelo. He described the defeat as a permanent scar on Canelo's legacy. According to him, this wasn't just a bump in the road. It wasn't a loss that Canelo could brush off or excuse. Jeff explained it this way. Canelo was the undisputed king. He held all the belts.
It's really 3 weights above his natural weight class. Does that put him in the conversation with the likes of yourself as the greatest fighter of all time?
Yes, it does. And the reason it does is because he couldn't get the credibility down in his own weight class, so he went up to go challenge himself to fight it. And he found a very formidable, good opponent.
Do you think Canelo Alvarez is on the decline or not?
No, I don't think it's on decline at all.
So you think both fighters are still at their peak, even though they're 36, 37?
Yeah, I think they're both still at their peak. The age for Crawford would seem like he may be beyond it, but he hasn't had the fights, the tough fights we have put him there. And the years of boxing for Canelo would have put him in a position where they're about equal. So I think they both are pretty much in a great place. I think they both.
All the status, all the dominance. But in the defining moment of his career, when tested by greatness, he lost. That stain will always be there. He compared it to how champions are remembered not just by their victories, but by their defining moments. For some, those moments are spectacular wins. For Canelo, his defining moment may forever be the night he was humbled by a smaller man who dared to dream big. That's what makes this win so monumental for Crawford. Not only did he secure his place in for Stephen A. Smith,
is unbelievable. He's a 3-time undisputed world champion, and he's beaten the best of the best. Now, for me, there were red flags way before this fight. Not way before the fight. You know, in the build-up to this fight, Canelo's body language in the run-up to this fight. You know, he turned up in Vegas in his stretch limo, in his Armani suit. He's had his kids and his wife in the back of the car, and he's got out and he's strolling around like he owns the gaff. Now, that all that signified to me was a very comfortable.
This wasn't just analysis. It was personal. He made it clear that being in the arena that night, watching history unfold in real time, LFT him in awe. Smith said he felt the energy shift, the sense that something bigger than boxing had just taken place. It wasn't merely about titles, rankings, or pound-for-pound lists. It was about redefining the very meaning of greatness. As he explained, we talk about legends in this.
And he wasn't. I don't see that hunger in him anymore. I don't see that those changes anymore. He fights flat-footed, throws one punch at a time. He's not fast anymore, and that's why I picked Crawford by decision.
Are you surprised at how easy it was?
Look, not that I'm surprised because what I just told you, I think Crawford is very talented, and Crawford is hungry to become a legend. He wanted to become that three division undisputed. He wanted to go up, he wanted to make history by going up 2 divisions to beat Canelo, one of the greatest of all time. So he was hungry for it. I think Canelo has already done so much, has made so much money that he's not hungry anymore.
You think sport, Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. What Terence Crawford did against Canelo puts him in that conversation. That night wasn't. When Terence Crawford pulled off the unthinkable by defeating Canelo Alvarez, the boxing world stood still. For some, it was the passing of a torch. For others, it was the night that
possibly that Crawford is up there with Pacquiao or Mayweather.
I think in accomplishments, he's three division undisputed, moved up 2 divisions to beat Canelo. So he's probably he's accomplished more than Mayweather for sure. Mayweather never became undisputed, but that doesn't mean he's better than Mayweather. I think in a fight at welterweight, Mayweather in his prime would beat Crawford, and Pacquiao in his prime would probably beat Crawford. But Crawford has accomplished more.
alike. Floyd Mayweather, one of the sport's greatest icons, chose to downplay Crawford's historic accomplishment. In the aftermath of the fight, Mayweather suggested that people were overhyping Crawford's win, implying that it didn't belong in the same category as some of